My camera's going down. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so thankful y'all are here. I pray you can find home here, and if so, welcome. So this video is for anybody that's been through interpersonal trauma, which means if you had bad experiences in your family or if you had a bad relationship and you're trying to learn how to get out of that lonely stage. You're trying to learn how to integrate and assert yourself back into life, back into socializing, going after your goals or whatever it is that's on your heart. And something I'm learning is that when you go through trauma, it sticks with you so consistently, so deeply, because in those moments, we felt helpless. In those moments, we didn't have the tools to fight back. We didn't have the boundaries. We didn't have the words to say. So our body and our brains almost keep the score. It keeps the memory to make sure that we don't ever put ourselves in that situation again. But the biggest thing I want y'all to understand is that once you go through trauma and you learn all about it, you learn what you did in the situation, you learned about the type of person you were dealing with, or the dynamic you were in. Once you learn the information, eventually you have to put it into practice. Eventually you have to take what you know, what you've learned, and actually begin to integrate yourself back into life. You won't get out of your loneliness by staying hermit mode. You won't get out of your situation by hoarding information. And we also live in a informative era. Like, we have YouTube, we have Google. We can always access information, but I don't want y'all to get stuck in this learn all I can but never change my life mode. I make these videos for the purpose of not only sharing what I've been through, traumatic situations, or just social interpersonal relationships in general, but also to show y'all that you can change your life. You can grow out of that. You can assert yourself no matter how shy, reserved, traumatized, or scared you've been in your life. So learn all you can, yes, but eventually you have to put these things into practice. Understand that you are no longer the person that went through the trauma. You're the person who, yes, experienced that, but now you know better. Now you're more aware of what to look out for. You have the information. You can still access the information even after you integrate yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Trust that you know better. Trust that you'll actually take heed to people's character. You'll take heed to red flags. Don't get stuck in this idea that the world is unsafe, the world is going to mistreat me, the world is going to abuse me, or no matter who I date, all they want to do is abuse me, all they want to do is use me, because that's not true at all. We ultimately live the life that we accept. We live the life that we agree suits us. So if you're asserting yourself out into the world again, and you find that you come across someone or a situation that doesn't feel good, doesn't feel right, but you decide consciously to not do anything about it, you decide consciously to keep dealing with that person, then at that point, it is your fault. At some point, you have to take accountability. You have to take accountability for what you're doing and what you're simply not doing. Imagine you're in a boxing ring, right? But your opponent has steel gloves. They beat you up, you lose, you're hurt, you're miserable. The next time you're placed in a boxing match, you're not going to want to fight. You're not going to want to put yourself in that situation again. But we do have the capacity and we have the ability and the permission to go get our steel gloves too, okay? And the steel gloves can represent, learning more about the situation, learning how to go about things in a healthy way, learning healthy boundaries, having good social skills, learning how to confidently implement yourself. You can put on your steel gloves too. You're not helpless. You have all the rights to do what you have to do to feel safe in this world. And trust me, life will always bring us opportunities to get in that boxing ring again. even if we don't want to. That's the biggest thing that I'm learning. Like, no matter how much you don't want to, no matter how much you want to stay isolated, no matter how much you want to say, you know, all men or all women are abusive and I'll never get into another relationship, life has a funny way of bringing you a situation that you wanted to avoid. Life has a funny way of bringing you a man or a woman that literally sings to your heart, and they're healthy and they're genuine. So it's up to you to decide, am I going to shut myself off and not use the skills that I'm learning? Am I going to close myself off and pretend like I don't have more life to live? Or am I going to put on my steel gloves? Am I going to learn the skills that I need to learn? Am I going to practice my affirmations and my boundaries in the mirror? Am I going to supply myself with the things and tools I need on my downtime so that when the time comes to socialize, to reach goals, to go out and assert myself, to get into a relationship, will I be ready with the tools that I'm learning how to use? Don't sit on all this information you're learning. YouTube is full of free, useful information. Don't let it go to waste. You have all the power to implement yourself. You have all the power to learn the things you need to learn, and trust that the healing will come when you need it. Stop thinking you're helpless. Stop thinking you don't know any better. Stop thinking that you can't do any better. If you believe you can do better and you truly trust that you can and will do better. That's really all I wanted to say in this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Have a good night, a good morning, a good evening, whenever you're watching this. Bye.